you're all having an awesome day. We have the orange AD30 single channel model on the bench today. A massive thank you to my buddy Chris Samakavidis for loaning me this guitar. This is Chris's main gigging amp. And I kind of mentioned on a Q&A video a couple of weeks ago that I didn't know whether I really liked or disliked EL84 amps when it came to high gain. So Chris messaged me and said, hey, you got to try the AD30. I've been gigging with it in a kind of pop punk band and really enjoying it. And here we are, PRS DGT, AD30, going to my usual greenback equipped Marshall 1960 TV cab, SM57 off axis. If you want IRs from that cab, you can get some free blends in the video description. Also a bunch of ways to support my channel in the video description. But for now, I've got the amp set where it's set. I found with the master volume that once you get to about noon on it, the amp kind of wakes up and really starts to sound good. So I've turned it up past noon. We'll play around with that in a little bit, but this is kind of where I'm digging at the moment for like a chimey, low gain tone. I've got both pickups on and they are tapped. This is pretty sweet. I better turn standby off. Let's do that. That is super chimey, very voxy. That's kind of the sound I often associate with EL84 equipped amplifiers. But there's loads more gain on this. You can see the gain knob is not on there. I would say it is just above 1 on there at the moment. So what I'll do is I'll switch to the bridge humbucker now so you can kind of hear some more grunt out of it. Then I'll bring the gain up. This is where we start to have some fun. Now, this to me just sounds like an orange. They have their own thing going on that's not Marshall, that's not Boogie. I owned an orange Dark Terror for a while, and this kind of sounds like a more versatile version of that amp. And I definitely enjoyed the Dark Terror. There's like this texture to the distortion that orange amps seem to have. It's their signature character. I quite like it. I wouldn't say I'd like it for everything, but you know, with the gain right up, you pull some mids out, boost some bass. It's got that kind of doomy tone going on, which I really, really like. Way chimier than I expected as well. Like if you wanted to use this instead of say an AC30, I think you could get away with it. I really like that. I do like the extra gain on tap there. You know, it's got a bit of that, I said doom sound in there. Like early Sabbath as well would kind of sound pretty cool with this sort of thing. You know, especially maybe overloading the bass a little bit on there. So it sounds like an orange, and I like the way oranges sound. What I want to do now is boost it with a Boss SD1, and we'll just see if I can kind of get a tighter, you know, slightly more metal sound, and I might switch over to my PRS SC in a little bit and see how it handles being in drop C. But first, let's boost it. There's a definite feel going on. I don't know if it's due to the power section they're using, or it's the wattage, or it's something else in the circuit. I definitely couldn't say. It's just EL84's. But it's kind of loose and saggy. You know, it's doing the orange thing. This to me would be such a great amp to have on hand to blend with other super tight high gain amps. Like say you had a boosted 5150 for your main rhythm tracks, and then you added an extra layer of AD30 on there for some character. I've certainly done stuff like that in the past with the Tiny Terror, and I can't remember if we ever tracked with the Dark Terror, but definitely like the Ragdoll Rewound EP, there's a bunch of stuff that's tracked with, you know, higher gain amps like DSLs and Soldanos blended with the orange sound in there. That's kind of how I like it. It does the chimey stuff really well. It does the kind of faux AC/DC style thing, the really percussive thing, great with the gain lower. I really like that. So I can see why Chris would be using this in like a kind of pop punk context. It's really, really fun there. As you get the gain up and everything else up, it does kind of sag out a bit, which again, people love old orange amps for kind of doom metal. I can see that. So we got to hear it with a fuzz now. I've got the Swollen Pickle, which is probably my favorite fuzz of all time. It's definitely the fuzz that I've owned the longest. So we'll stay in drop C. We've got that vibe going on, and then I'm just going to bring the pickle in. We'll go all out fuzzy doom tones. Let's go. Could annoy everyone within a 20-kilometer radius with that particular sound, including all of you. So if you've watched this long, thanks so much for checking out the video. Big shout out to my buddy Chris for loaning me the amp. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I really like some of the sounds in this amp. I like how simple it is to use. I think for me, I kind of like it for the lower gain stuff up until about that kind of AC/DC crunch where you don't really need that much gain from the amp. I think if you were going to do a kind of modern metal sound With this, you'd probably need to use some external pedals or go for one of the other amps in the lineup. I kind of want to try a Rockaverb 50 now because I want to say maybe 10, 11 years ago, I was really, really into those amps. I very nearly bought one, and I feel like I just would have kind of missed the point with it. So maybe I'll have to try and find one and check it out because, you know, Orange, it's not my favorite sound every day of the week, but I feel like at least one day of the week, it's my favorite sound. Some of those lower gain tones were gorgeous. And the doom tones with a fuzz on there, or even without a fuzz, are so much fun. I can see why these amps are really, really well liked. You know, I kind of expected it to be really, really flabby sounding, but you can get some pretty sweet high gain tones out of this. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you an Orange Amps fan? Do you like EL84's, or have you sworn them off forever? Because most amp manufacturers seem to make their smaller, like 20, 25 watt amps with EL84's, and I know some people absolutely won't touch it. I'm still undecided. I've played some amps with EL84's that I haven't liked. I don't know if it's because of the EL84's, but it seems to just be a thing like, no, EL84's, you don't want to touch it. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm kind of undecided, but I do like this amp. I think this is a fantastic gigging rock and roll amp. I would happily play through one of these any day of the week. Big shout out to Chris for loaning it to me. And let's hear some of my C-grade doom metal playing to play you all out. Thanks for watching. Links in the video description to support the channel. I will see you all next time.